Welcome back, Gaveliers and friends, to the ISB Gavel e-learning. Now that we have gone through the overview of project number 4, we will now proceed to understand each objectives clearly and practice afterwards. Remember that to craft a speech nicely with words and sentences, it's just like to choose a perfect wrapping paper for your present. Objective number 1. Select the right words and sentence structure to communicate your idea clearly, accurately, and vividly. Now, notice this sentence. When I was a student, I was in a big event where there were 100 other students competing for the championship. Well, I have taken this line from a speech, and let's see how we can improve this sentence with wording. Firstly, some words are general and have a number of meanings. So if you want to use concrete, specific words that communicate exactly what we want, in this example, it starts with when I was a student. Now, they could mean any grade, varying from primary school to high school to even university, and each grade may mean different to the story. So it would be better if we can specify this clause. Let's say, when I was in grade 12. Then, an event. An event could mean any type, a workshop, seminar, competition. Let's say this one is a contest. Lastly, 100 students. 100 students could mean organizer, supporters, or even contestants. So, to avoid any potential misunderstanding here, how about 100 contestants? So the new sentence we have here is, when I was in grade 12, I was in a big contest where there were 100 other contestants competing for the championship. Next, let's think about how to make it vivid. Now the words in your speech should appeal to senses and stir the audience's imagination. The words should be so descriptive that the audience can see, touch, hear, smell, or even taste whatever you describe. So, select verbs carefully. As you write your speech, use verbs that have energy. The verbs such as is, are, was, were sometimes weaken our message because they don't show action. So let's get back to our previous example and see how we can change and bring more energy to it. This is the new version. When I was in grade 12, I joined a nationwide contest where it gathered more than 100 contestants from different provinces of the country competing for the championship. Lastly, in speaking, the most effective and memorable words are short. Moreover, shorter sentences are easier for a speaker to say and easier for the audience to understand, and they have more power and impact. Even though the previous edition sounds vivid, it's quite wordy indeed. And let's see how we can fix it. The new sentence is, when I was in grade 12, I joined a nationwide contest. It gathered more than 100 contestants from different parts of the country. Objective number 2. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Rhetorical devices are special ways of arranging words to make an idea or thought sounds more pleasing and easier for listeners to remember, such as simile, metaphor, alliteration, and triads. Let's discover each of them. First of all, simile. Simile refers to a comparison that uses the word like or as, whereas, and metaphor merely implies the comparison. For example, the competition was like a battlefield where each contestant was a brave warrior. Next, we have alliteration. In alliteration, the initial sounds in words are repeated in a pleasing or memorable manner. So instead of saying the contest was competitive and exciting, how about the contest was fierce and fun? So fierce and fun both start with the F sound. Finally, triads. This is when ideas, adjectives, and points are grouped in phrase. For example, after the contest, I gained knowledge, experience, and friendships. Or, the contest was of the students, by the students, and for the students. Objective number 3. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. Now strive to say a lot in as few words as possible, because many words are unnecessary or is used as fillers and they detract from and even dilute our message. For example, I've heard a speaker saying, I failed the contest in my first attempt, so I decided to redo it again. What's the problem? The prefix re means again, so having two of them in a sentence is redundant. So you can change it to, I failed the contest in my first attempt, so I decided to redo it. Next, jargon. Notice the sentence. Joining the contest has some opportunity costs. What are opportunity costs? If your background is not business, this can be so confusing. So remember to use specialized terminology only when speaking to people who are familiar with those terms. A better way to say the previous sentence is, joining the contest meant less leisure time. Lastly, say it correctly. Grammar and word pronunciation are major factors in our ability to influence the audience. Audiences may perceive good grammar and pronunciation as indicators of a well-educated and very credible person. So some common problems are: number 1, subject and verb agreement. So someone may say, the students were ready for the contest. How was doesn't go with the students. We should say, the students were ready for the contest. Secondly, misplaced modifier. Now someone may say, we talked about the contest yesterday. Compare with, yesterday we talked about the contest. Now in the first sentence, yesterday is placed at the end and means to modify the word contest, while in the second sentence it is placed at the beginning to modify the whole sentences. So ta-da! We have just gone through all we needed in this project number 4, how to say it. Now it's time for you to put everything we have learned into practice. Now remember to use vivid and descriptive words. Keep sentences simple and short. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Eliminate jargons and unnecessary words and use correct grammar. I wish everyone would find a perfect wrapping paper for your present.